Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. Right, another video on this Nissan Qashqai J10 2007, I think it is. This car has featured the channel a few times. The last two times I had the car, you probably have seen those videos. I had the car here for about a year ago. A year ago? Yeah, a year ago. Yeah, pretty much a year ago. I had the car here for the rear suspension. Then, just a few months back, the car was here for a CV boot. For a replacement of a CV boot on a drive shaft. And after that, well, it was at the same time, but I done two separate videos. It was also for a issue with the ABS. And the car is back. It's back again for the ABS. Now, the car had, when I did the rear suspension, had rear bearings, which means ABS reluctor rings, because on this car, all the four wheels, the ABS reluctor rings are built in the bearings. Then, as you have seen, had a front right bearing, and now there's pretty much the same complaint again. When you brake, the ABS acts up, and a few times after that, ABS comes on, ABS light comes on. So what we're going to do, so I have a feeling, guys, that obviously the car had rear bearings, had a front right bearing. So I have a feeling, because I told him at the time, that judging by the state of that front bearing, I thought that the left hand side won't be too far from happening the same. So I have a feeling that that is the issue with this. But nevertheless, let's go and plug in the maxi-sys, scan the car, and diagnose it. Now, any other day I wouldn't record this, because it's gonna be very, very similar to the one I've done for the other bearing. But that said, I thought just about recording it, just in case if there is a nasty surprise somewhere and this is actually something completely different, and then I would regret I didn't start recording it. So just for that, really. So as you can see, there's no funny lights, car is running, there's no ABS light or anything like that. So I'm going to ABS. Remember, there is no ESP on this car. If it was ESP on this car, most likely it would act up even driving, and most likely the ESP light would come on pretty much straight away. But it's not the case. Also, this problem apparently is not all the time. He says there's sometimes he drives and he's absolutely perfect, no problem, and then sometimes he acts up. So let's see if this points to my left hand side. I really hope he does. Boom, look at that. Left front sensor 2, like if there is more than one in there. Anyway, so C1108, as you can see in there, 6 times left front sensor 2. So is on the left hand side. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go to live data. Well, we're just going to be that one in there, maybe. Yes, it is. So we're going to do, hold on, front left, front right, and one rear. I can only have 3 on my live data. So front left is going to be my red. So let's gonna go for a drive and see what happens. Okay, and the ABS light came on, and we're gonna look at the signal in a minute. So yeah, after you press the brake a few times, the light comes on. Now I think at this point I'm not zoomed in enough to actually see what's going on. When you look at this, you see a couple discrepancies, which might be those. but I know for a fact when I was braking here, it was doing it, and you can't really see nothing here. It looks like straight lines, so we might gonna need to zoom in a little bit. But basically what it does, guys, is, so it's not like if the whole ring is gone. So when you brake, it looks like, this is what it looks like. It looks like there's only a little bit missing on that relector ring, unless there's something else, who knows. Because what it does is, it looks like every time the wheel goes around, it misses that little bit, and it just does, it just acts up on the ABS every time. You can feel it, which is every time the wheel goes around. So the reading is pretty much okay, and it looks like there is a little bit of a glitch on that signal, which makes the ABS to act up when you brake. About 5 or 6 times after in a row, the ABS light comes on and it stops doing it. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to zoom in now. I think I will be. So one time. Okay, so let's see if I can see. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Right, let's kind of leave it like this. 1, 1, 1 times 1. I was to analyze that signal that I've just recorded, and I just took it away. Damn it. Okay, let's kind of do this again. Okay, so I drove up to here now, and I don't know, I can't see a single blip on these signals. You can see on the graphical line here, and you can see up there on actually miles per hour or kilometers per hour. You can see a slight difference, but sometimes it's when you turn, which obviously wheels will turn at different speeds. But when you go straight, it's absolutely perfect. There's no blips. Down here I was driving about, what, 20 kilometers per hour, really slow to see if slowing down would show anything, and the only thing I've seen was there, those 2 little drops. But then it's, I don't know, I was expecting to see something a little bit more. See, there's nothing really other than these little bits in there, but right, so at the moment the ABS is not acting up, so I'm going to clear the light, load these live data again and try to match when the ABS acts up with the readings on the machine. At this moment, guys, is nothing conclusive. It's nothing that can tell, yeah, look at that, there's no questions asked. At the moment, we are not at that stage yet, so let's gonna dig a little bit more into this. Just one quick note here, which I think it might be important. The fact that the code is not coming up unless you drive the car, that to me means obviously is a signal feedback problem. If it was an issue with the sensor, or well, it might be okay. If it was an electric fault with the sensor, most likely the ECU would see that straight away. If it was an electric fault with something else, most likely the ECU would see that straight away. But it's not. It's only when you start driving. So to me that means, don't take me wrong, it could be something inside the ECU, inside the module, that the signal is going all the way back, but then is breaking up somewhere. We can't discard anything at this point, but I'm more inclined to believe it's going to be a relector ring. That's going to be that bearing or something along those lines. I'm a little bit biased from what I've done on this car and from the state of the bearing I removed on this side. I believe that bearing is going to be on its way as well. So, but let's kind of do a little bit more and try to see if we can see something that's going to be more conclusive then. Okay, ABS light is back on, and I think I got it. I think I got it now. Just let me stop there when I've stopped yesterday with the Astra. Hold on a second. Yeah, where all the rubbish is again. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, I think I got it, guys. So what I've done is I've loaded only two PIDs, only the front ABS sensors, to try to increase data transfer and try to get more data to the scanner. And look at that, now we got it. So as you can see, I was driving at about, I don't know, maybe 60 miles per hour, around there. Yeah, 57. And as you can see, my front left, which is my green line, which is this line that dips here. And look, it dips down there to 48. Again 48. Then has another 2 little drops in there. And yeah, it looks like that's my issue. And if I come back a little bit, you're gonna see that was a little bit more failures. So I was driving fine in there a little bit. Then look, another dip in there. But it was kind of good all the way there. Another dip in there. So I think this is the problem. That's why the car is seeing that. Let me go back a little bit faster. But look at that. All the way across here was reading pretty much okay. You see, nothing wrong with it since I took off from the other end, which was there. So nothing really, nothing major. I was turning here. Here I was turning, so that wheel will spin a little bit faster, would rotate a little bit faster, I would say. And then when I got steady on a straight, that's when I start to see that. Found it. Yeah, there you are. Right, let's gonna go back home. Let's gonna take that wheel out and most likely the bearing, give it some inspection, and hopefully get this fixed. Okay, so, oh dear me. So, bearing goes there. Oh dear, these back plates, they are really in bad shape. Right, so that's gonna start by removing this, removing the, do I need to remove the caliper? Yes, I do, because I need to take the brake disc. So that's going to remove all this stuff out. Yeah, and go from there. Okay guys, and because I've touched this car so recently, everything is coming out like, or everything just slides out so nicely. So I got the drive shaft out, which came out with 2 taps. I got this third point down here on the wishbone out, so it's here on the side, and I got these out. I don't need to take these off, so which means I will not need to track this car afterwards, because everything I'm touching, that or that, will go back exact in the same place. I'm not touching anything back here, so everything will go back to the same place. When I did the bearing on the other side and the CV boot over there on this side, which I've done everything at the same time on those other 2 separate videos, I got the car to track, and funny enough, we put the car, I took it to a garage that I do jobs for sometimes, and we got there, we put the 4 tools on the wheels, put it in front of the machine, and we just drop it back again because it was spot on. And I believe I did it the same way on the other side. So yeah, everything came out okay. So I don't think I'm gonna need to track it. I'll go for a drive. If I see anything, I will take it to track, but honestly I don't think it's gonna be a waste of time, because we are not touching anything that will affect the track. They are a little bit in bad shape, but I don't know if the owner is gonna want to change this, to be fair. Anyway, let's gonna get these out. There's 4 bolts at the back to remove this, and these 4 bolts here. So we're gonna take them off and get a new bearing. Actually inspect first and most likely get a new bearing. Okay, and the thing is out. Now the dust cover, it is bad. But I do recall now that on the other side, the owner decided not to get this. I will try to ring Nissan, but they're not gonna have this anyway. But he decided, I can see now, and I start to remember, he decided on the other side, you can see the disc over there, he decided not to put it in. So I think the decision is going to be the same. Now, one thing that didn't come out, and I've tried gently, is the ABS sensor is snapped, so we're going to have to drill this one out and get a new one. Unfortunately, it's the way it is. This bearing, obviously I've been hammering to get them out, but look at the ring. So this is the relector ring, and all that's missing. Obviously this is not what was missing on the machine, because obviously on live data we would have seen a much bigger gap, but I can only guess that was start to split already, and that little drop was probably a split here somewhere, and obviously when I hammered it, it just came out completely. So now we're gonna give a good clean of this and get it ready, remove the old sensor, get a new sensor, because I don't have the sensor for this. I have the bearing though, brand new bearing. Oh dear me, so that's a good one, but we need the sensor now. Okay, and I rang the owner, and I completely forgot that when we did, he actually reminded me, when we did that side, we agreed that we would get these dust covers when we get the discs and pads done. It doesn't need them yet, even pads, probably at the end of this, oh, it's up there, maybe the end of these pads probably, but it still have a few months. And that we agreed that I would get these done at the time. Yes, at this point would be the perfect time to change them. Nissan doesn't have these unless you order them. Local car parts, they don't have these, so either I would get them from eBay or from Nissan, but would have to wait either way. But yeah, I do recall now that we said we'll get these done when we do the discs. Yes, I'm gonna have to take the hub again. It's way more work, but there's nothing I can do, and the guy is happy to leave it like that for now. So for now I'm going to put this still, because this works as a kind of a little chim sort of. I already drilled these, obviously. We're going to have to get a new sensor, but for now I'm just going to start to fit the new bearing, because I can do all of it before the sensor. Mrs. went out and I don't have a car to go there, because the BMW is over there and this one is here with no legs. So we're going to put everything back on and go from there, really. But yeah, so we're going to put grease everywhere, make sure everything is properly lubricated before we put everything back in, and that's it. Right, so I've started to put things back together. Hub to this, or the bearing to the hub, 70 Newton meters. Then most of the stuff is actually 7 Newton meters. So bearing to the hub is 70. The caliper to the hub is 70. Then I think the tie rod end is 70. 13 for the ABS sensor. A lot of this stuff you just do by feeling, you don't really measure it. But and then the main one is also the drive shaft. The big nut is actually 185 Newton meters. Okay, 185. So just to recap, 70, 70, 75. I'm not sure about this one here. 13, 185. Okay, and 20 pounds later we have a brand new Bosch sensor which we are going to fit, and then that's about it. Then go for a test drive, I guess. Okay, everything in place. I need to wash that floor before the missus sees that. Oh dear. Right, let's gonna go for a test drive. Okay, let's gonna start this up. Okay, so light went off. We should have no lights anyway, unless the problem reoccurs. Obviously the faults are gonna still be logged in the ECU, but that doesn't matter at all. The maxi says run out battery, so as I said, did I say that? I don't know if I did, but yeah, the maxi says run out of battery, and it's charging at the moment. But the guy is a colleague of mine, he works with me, he's working today, so he leaves at 7, so he's never going to be here before 8. So before he actually picks up the car, I will plug the maxi Cs in and I will clear the codes. But for a test drive, for test drive purpose, we don't need to clear the codes. So let's gonna take off. Let's gonna go for a test drive and see what how he behaves, if he's okay now. Right, now yes, I can go. Right, let's go. Right, he's driving beautiful, no lights, no nothing. He's not doing that sort of ABS acting anymore. He's driving perfect. I just want to try the ABS, maybe on this stretch here, but it's a little bit of a crappy time because it's nearly 5 o'clock. Yeah, there's a lot of companies that close at 4 around here, and the traffic is a little bit heavier now. But I'm gonna try to find a gap where we can go and just hard braking halfway through maybe, and try to, might be able to do it now. Hold on a second, let me see if I can take you. No, not yet. Damn it. I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for a gap. Traffic is heavy now. Just hold a second. After these 3, I should be able to go. It's gonna go now. Yep, it's nothing coming, so oh yeah, it is working. Absolutely, it is working. It is working. Right, let's gonna drive back home now and wrap up this video. Oh god, and I made that orange light come on. Oh dear. Right guys, yeah, it's driving perfect, no problems. Steering is absolutely straight, no pulling to any of the sides. It's spot on. To be fair, we haven't touched anything that would mess the alignment of the car. Again, the tie rod end would just go in the same place. That third point on the wishbone to the hub would only go in the same place. So if we'd have touched the shock absorber as it ties into the hub, yeah, possibly, but we haven't touched that. So yeah, to me it's perfect. There's no need to do anything else to it. So yeah, with no further ado guys, yeah, in the end just a bearing, just a reluctor ring, which again is part of the bearing. and yeah, problem is fixed. So guys, with no further ado, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information here you can find useful. Maybe, I can't remember how I did the other one, when was this side, but I have an idea that I've been messing with scopes and stuff. Possibly didn't have to. But yeah, so yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope there's some information here you guys can find useful. If you need any questions, any comments, please put them below, and like always, thanks for watching.